Hi guys, and welcome to today's Alakazam Live, and I'm joined by the Master of the Ark, Mr. Jamie Dawes.
Hello.
Seeing as we're coming up to Halloween, it's almost spooky season.
It's always spooky season for me.
Yeah.
Always. It's never not spooky season. But now it's coming up. Very excited. If you look upstairs, I'm surrounded by weird stuff. I've got toe tags, candles, matches, all sorts going on. Yeah, very, very interesting life I lead.
So, guys, if you've got any questions for Jamie, drop them right here in the chat. Also, let us know if you are an avid listener of Desert Island Tricks, something that Jamie does every single week. Let us know what you think of it, and if you've got any suggested guests.
Yeah, I'm literally just finishing up this week's episode, which is a video episode. So just before we came on, I was just doing the little show notes, a little blurb. But this week's guest is the current Blue Peter presenter. So that's all I'll say as a little clue. But it's a very, very good episode. It's very, very interesting, to say the least. It's got a couple of curveballs in there, quite literally curveballs.
Do you know what? I don't listen to many podcasts, but I listen to this one all the time. And it's not just because it's an Alakazam podcast, but I really find it fascinating. And it's not so much what people choose, but it's why they choose it.
Yeah.
That's
this
what
week's
really
episode,
interests me.
Every week we put like that little snippet at the very beginning. This week he talks about his favourite magic performance that he's seen on Blue Peter since he's been working there. And he talks about Mario, the Maker magician, who this week's guest went out of his way to get Mario on the show. And Mario said, I don't want the kids to see anything. And normally they would rehearse it so that the producers are calm about it. But he said, no, if I'm coming in, it needs to be spur of the moment so that I get the good reactions. And then halfway through his set, this week's guest gets a message from the director saying, no one panic, but we've had no sound for the entire length of this performance. No. And it was all on air live. So I'm not going to tell you what happens after that. You need to listen to the episode. But it takes a real professional or a group of professionals to take something so catastrophic and turn it around. And they managed to do it very well. So you need to listen, though. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Yeah,
no, I can't wait. So we have got a question that has come in from Steve Black, which I'm going to put on screen in a moment, but it's to do with tomorrow's live launch. So for those of you that are unaware, tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock BST, so it's GMT +1, we have got a live launch happening right here on Facebook and YouTube. Now, we've got a little launch video, so we're going to play that now, and then we'll answer this question.
Awesome.
Okay, let's take a little look-see.
Hi guys, it's Mark Paul here, and I want to tell you about Idiom. It is this. A box of Scrabble tiles, so you have that wonderful shaking sound. And that's what you do, you shake it up, the spectator shakes it up, they open the lid, they pick out some letters, and you know exactly what word those letters will make. And get this, they can see that the letters are all different. They can see into the box and see lots of random letters. It's really clever, it's beautifully put together, the props are incredibly well made. This is probably the cleanest way of forcing a word that I've ever seen. So you need this. This is Idiom by Mike Shaw.
For the first time, Jan, the letter that you were holding is an F, Leonie, I, Tara, R, Lee. So you spelt the word? Yeah, you spelt the word fur. Come on! Yes! Yes!
Oh, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate that.
I'm Peter Nardi, and this is Mike Shaw's Idiom. So, Idiom launches tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and Steve Black said, is there a significant difference between idiom and letters? 100%. It is totally different. What it allows you to do is totally different. So, idiom is, I would say, a utility set, which we explain 3 or 4 different routines on there. We've got the hero routine, which is what, a 7-minute stand-up piece?
Yep. Well,
with
Dan,
multiple reveals.
Dan used to do it when he first started doing it. It was about 12 minutes long, so you could push
Wow.
it that far if you wanted to, because there's so much you can do. But even when we were filming the instructions, with the hero routine and the quiz routine, I think on the instructions you mention that it's such a diverse piece of magic that you could link both of those routines together and it would still be super engaging, super interesting, and that would be about a 10 to 15 minute piece of performance then.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the moment I showed Mark Paul, he said, this will go into my act.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, anyone that knows Mark Paul will understand that, for one, it's got to be something very special to go into his act. It's you know, Mark's not someone that changes his act every day or anything else. He hones and hones material before it gets in, and then it's in for years. He knows what plays well and he has a solid show. Now, the Mike Shaw, who created this, sent me a video, I would say at least 2 years ago, I think.
Well, we started working on this when I first joined the company, because that was when we filmed the stuff with Simon in London, and that was in, I think it was March. So that's at least, nearly 2 years since we started working on it.
Something tells me it wasn't that long after lockdown, because something tells me it wasn't that long after lockdown that we bought the rights to it, and having the props manufactured or finding someone that could manufacture them, even though, you know, when you look at them you think, well, it's quite simple. Finding someone to do them was really hard. Took months and months and months till we found someone to do them up to the spec that we wanted them. And then, you know, getting them made was another thing, and then creating the routines. Because Mike's routine, when Mike sent me it, was very similar to letters. They pick out some letters, you predicted the word. But then we realised there was so much more you could do with this. And then we created what we called a hero routine, the big stage piece that's 6-7 minutes long. And then from that, we created sort of shorter, snappier routines that feel a bit like a chair test with multiple spectators up on stage. And you're quite right. I think you could get 2 or 3 of those routines, link them together, even though they're all using the same props. The routines feel absolutely different, and you could connect them all up. You could go up on stage, do a 15-minute act with nothing more than this set, and each routine would feel different and build.
Yeah. And even in that first routine, when we put it together, the core idea was Dan Chard, who came up with this idea of like a memory demonstration of just looking at the pieces and putting it all together. And from that, the obviously the routine built, but you've got the memory demonstration, which just looks incredible. Then you've got a prediction. You have a shuffleboard kind of effect in there as well, if you want to do it that way. So you can predict words, you can force words, you can do pretty much anything that you've ever wanted to do when it comes to some sort of word in a show, you can do with this. It's absolutely brilliant. And I will say it's probably one of the nicest produced tricks I've ever seen on the market. When you see the props, the packaging, everything's been thought about down to a T. Even the box that everything's put in so that you can handle it, everything's been thought of. There you go. Look at that.
It is a
great.
beauty.
It really is. It's so good. It really is amazing, and it's nice to see it finally come out because, like I said, we started filming for this last March or February, March. So to see it finally come out it's amazing. And genuinely, and anyone who wants one of these, just grab one straight away. You will find a use for it over and over and over. This week's guest, funny enough, he talks about doing a memory demonstration, and I said to him, we've got something coming out. I think that this would go perfectly into his show as well. I think he would love it.
And, you know, even if you wanted to, I mean, we're not going to talk too much about it. We're doing the live launch tomorrow night. If you join us, you'll be able to get your hands on one. You'll see the trailer before anyone else. You can ask us questions. But even if you're doing a mental epic style routine or a confabulation and anything else like that, this would be your beautiful one ahead piece as well. So it has got so many different uses. So I want to say a few shout outs and a few hellos to people. We're joined by the legend that is Craig Petty. Craig's here. I don't know, he's obviously stopped working for 2 minutes, which is very unusual for Craig, but he's joining us. Hiya, Craig. Andrew Lucas is here. Martin Pierce is here, or Martin Marvel. Danny Ragg, Darren Bain, Paul Morley, Steve Black. And we've got a few people joining us from America as well in here. So thank you all for joining us for this Tuesday live. Now, this is, I'm going to say it, this is going to be our last Tuesday live for the next couple of weeks. There won't be one next Tuesday, and there won't be one the Tuesday after, but there'll probably be, we'll probably start up again the Tuesday after. So the week commencing the 20th, we should be back doing them, but this will be our last one for a couple of weeks. Oh, and we have the man himself, the man who's been working this for the last 6 months on stage.
Absolutely, and he helped very kindly. He came down and did the instructions with us as well. Because no one's going to know it better than Daniel at this point, performing so often. So yeah, it's great, and he did a very, very good, very good job, Dan. Well done.
Yeah,
you did great.
Very good job. Very good job. Donald said, I would love to see a Desert Island Tricks with Craig Petty.
So we've discussed this before. We only have people of notoriety on the podcast. So Craig isn't on our, he is on our list. So the truth about Craig is we've been trying to get Craig Petty on the podcast since the very beginning, but Craig is so busy, we haven't managed to get him on yet, but hopefully we will by the end of season 2, because at the time of recording, we're approaching the end of recording season 2 now, because we record them a little way in advance. So hopefully we'll get him on. I really like to get Ryland on as well, because I think his list, I think he would be the youngest guest that we have on, but I think it'd be interesting to see someone as young as him, but surrounded by so many tricks, what he would pick. But we've got lots of really good guests coming on. This week I've got a recording this Thursday. We've got 2 recordings. One of them with someone who I used to watch one of his TV shows extensively when I was growing up. It was one of my favourites. And I actually had my hair cut with my barber last week who is a good friend of mine who loves Magic as well. And when I mentioned his name, he literally went on a 40-minute rant about how much he loved the TV show that he used to be on. So we've got lots of really, really good guests. We've got a Halloween special.
Oh.
So we are recording. I haven't even told Pete this. So
no, you
it's
haven't.
news for Pete as well. I do have a special guest coming on that we're going to record next week for Halloween. So they are connected to the bizarre world in some way. So look out for that one as well, which would be really good. And we've recorded, I'll give you one guest that's upcoming. Ben Williams is one upcoming next week.
Nice.
Sorry, not next week, the week after. So, you know, we've got lots of very good guests. But hopefully Craig will take time out of his very busy schedule to come on to the podcast and see if he can beat Darren Brown's 3 hours or whatever Darren Brown's was.
Yeah, no, it's great. And Ryland is a really good shout, 'cause he's most probably done more gigs than a lot of magicians out there. And the great thing about Ryland as well is he's always trying new stuff. He's always creating new acts and everything else. He'll be a really good name to have on there, and Craig, obviously. But I know I'm the bottom of Craig's list, so he'll do the other ones first. But no, Ryland would be good. And Ryland, if you do watch this back, because I presume you're at school at the moment, I hope your finger heals very quickly. He damaged his finger, bless him, but it is on the mend.
Good to hear.
So, Will Thompson said, is anyone going to see the Piff the Magic Dragon show with Penn Jillette? I was speaking to someone the other night, I can't remember who it was, that said they had just booked tickets for it, and they asked me if I wanted to go with them, and I'm trying to think who it was.
Well, we should also say, because his tickets are going very quick, crazy quick, Mark Spellman as well.
Yes.
Who is at His Majesty's Theatre where Phantom is in the West End. He's doing a one-night only thing there. And I checked on his tickets last week. I can't believe how quickly they're selling, which they deserve to, because his shows are always amazing, great production value, great tricks, really well routine. So it's going to be a really, really good night. So, you know, check that one out as well.
Yeah, I've got my tickets for that already. And that's the day after my birthday.
So it's all downhill from there then.
Yeah. God, blimey.
How old is it this year? 120, 130?
I'm not even going to say, and the reason I'm not going to say is because I'm not actually sure. I know,
really?
Yeah, I think I'm 57 this year.
Oh yeah, well, I was going to say 55. So
no,
yeah,
I'm older
it's
than
gotta be around
55.
that.
Yeah, I'm 57. So yeah, Jesus, look at me.
But you don't look it, Pete.
No, I look
He is my
107.
boss,
I know what you're going to say. And just to think, when I started Alakazam Magic, I was younger than Harry, and all the other magic dealers were my age now. I was the young gun coming in ruffling feathers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't really get many people start up like new magic companies now from a young age. There's very few really that pop up.
No, I mean it was a different ball game back then, weren't it? It was a different ball game. And so
That's another quite a nice thing about the podcast is, I mean, I know it's an Alakazam podcast, but it's quite nice how people have referenced stories with you throughout the years as well. And there's been that sort of crossover with different guests who have mentioned, like, coming to your house to get their first tricks and stuff like that, and to see where they are now, and, you know, the journey that the company has gone on to get to this stage. It's pretty mad. And obviously now with Print by Magic, and we've got Unlimited now, the podcast now, we've got the convention coming up.
yeah.
It just feels like everything's snowballing from this point on.
Yeah, no, it really does. And we got Chris James in America running our US
Of
operation
course,
as well.
and he's doing amazing.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and we don't usually talk about it, but a lot of people don't realise what we've been a part of over the years. And listening to, you know, Chris Taylor's podcast last week.
Last week.
not-
Oh, yeah, I mentioned that to you, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people realise that we were the financial backing and everything else for Chris Taylor to get Taylor Imagineering off the ground with his first few products and stuff like that. And we've done that quite a bit over the years with different artists and helped them get their sort of leg up or foot in the door or whatever you want to say. If you look at all the people that were, I wouldn't say unknown, but
Rising stars.
Yeah, I remember John Archer, you know, John, who's a huge name now. We bought out his DVDs, and at the time, you know, John was a great performer. He was doing the Magic Club circuit with the lectures and everything. We bought out his DVDs, and I remember not long after we bought out the DVDs, maybe a month and a half, John went to FISM, and I got a text message from John saying, I honestly cannot thank you enough, the amount of people who I aspire to, or, you know, I really like, and are coming up and speaking to me. They now know who I am, you know, and we've done that or we've helped do that for quite a few people. And at the end of the day, it's their material, they're the brains behind it. But we were always the company, and we're still the company, that take the risk on unknown artists. Now, there's a lot of magic companies out there now that are doing what we've been doing for years and bringing out products and everything else. And you tend to find we invest in the unknown, we give them the name, and then their door's knocked on by the other dealer because they've already got the name. They've already, you know, we've already built that name for them. But for me, it's never been about who you are. It's about what you do. You know, if you look at yourself, look at Dave Loosely, and look at Colin McLeod, who's now in Vegas. Look at Piff, John Vanderput. These people were not the people they are now when we took that risk on them. I remember you and Dave, you were both kids when you come into the shop to
16 was the first time I came to the shop, cowering, shaking, legs shaking, because I was going to meet Pete, going into the back room, into the office, sitting at your massive desk.
Oh my God, that was great. I loved that room. We haven't got it.
It wasn't, because you left me sat in there for about 10 minutes on my own. I was like, what? I'm going to get killed by Peter Naldi. What's going on?
Yeah, I had this great idea once of having a proper meeting room where we could sit down and have meetings and brainstorm. So I got this beautiful long wooden meeting table, all the chairs around it, had the big TV on the wall, the speakers there, so we could sort of have our viewings when we had a new DVD coming out and everything else. And it was great, but we never used the room. The table was almost as big as the room anyway. But it was great. But it was great to have those meetings in, because when people come in, you come out into the meeting room, and it felt a bit special. Now you come in and sit in my office with just my junk everywhere, you know, just loads of old tricks and stuff. But yeah, it was great. But I remember Dave coming in. He was only 15 or 16, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're both the same age. We're born the same year, me and Dave. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have been about the same.
Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days.
Those were the days. Well, these are the days. Like all of the things going on now, I think. Yeah, it's just as exciting.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't just me. Dave said it as well. I think it was intimidation tactics. I'm not going to lie. I'm
Yeah.
sure it was all rehearsed to be like that.
Yeah. Well,
The fact that you had someone pat me down going in, that was a bit weird, in fairness.
Yeah. And it's the fact that I probably made you an offer and you went, oh, let me think. Yeah, I'll pop out for 10 minutes. You have a think about it. You have a think. Think very very carefully. Yeah. No, it's great. And do you know what? There's nothing that excites me more about an unknown creator coming to us with a product that we look at and go, that's good. Mm-hmm. You know, at no point do I ever think, well, he hasn't got a name. It's all about the product. It's all about the creation, you know, and there's nothing that I like better than finding that hidden gem and helping someone get a name. You know, there's nothing that gives me, and I always say it, if you speak to anyone that ever does anything with us, I always send them the trailer, always send them the packaging for their feedback. And I always say to them, for us, this is a product we're proud of, but for you, this is part of your legacy. So we want to make sure that you're happy with it and you're proud of what's coming out through us, you know? And that's a big thing for me. I want whoever we're bringing the product out for, I want them to hold the product in their hand and go, I am so happy I chose Alakazam. You know, I got actually, let me see if I can find it.
And even since I've worked with you, the amount of crazy things that we've done to try and make sure that artists are happy. I think one of the more interesting ones was Eric Stevens, who wanted all of his trailers to be like Wes Anderson films. So I spent like 2 months researching color palettes and all of this different stuff. And then you guys came up with the idea of the Folkestone Harbour. And then if it wasn't for that, I'm not sure if like the Harbour Arm and all that sort of snowballed from that point on, didn't it? It's funny how sort of everything lines up the next thing, which I think is interesting. But yeah, we do try and do, and even Idiom. So we've been doing that for nearly 2 years. We did filming in London last year where we filmed 3 or 4 tricks. Another one is ready to go as well. A Leo Schmetzer's one, which should be coming out very, very soon, which is very good. Unfortunately, the audio on Simon's one died at the end, so we couldn't use the full performance. But all of those things, we hired out a little theatre just to do that. Yeah. And then we've done Billsington Priory, we've hired that out, Boys Hall, we've hired that out just to make sure that the trailers are looking good, different, interesting, and fun, and representing that trick really well.
Yeah. Well, Mike sent me, so obviously we sent Mike Shaw an Idiom as soon as we got them in, and he just put, "Hi Peter, just received the package from Chris. I'm falling out of my chair. Fabulous job with Idiom, a really high quality piece in every way, every detail." And then I sent him the full trailer. Peter, I'm totally blown away. Mark Paul, ? Oh my God, the performances are stellar. I'm on a high from which I'll never come down. But that, to me, is what our job as a producer is all about. You know?
Yep.
It's that reaction. I love seeing the reviews on the website where people say, "Oh, I got this trick, it's great, I'm doing it all the time." But for me, there's no better thing than the person whose trick it is going, "You've gone above and beyond what I thought you were going to do with this."
Absolutely.
Anyone that's ever worked for Alakazam, I mean, Dave will tell you, you're in it, you're seeing it. there's never one point where I will turn around and go, can we do that cheaper? You know,
No, never.
It's always, I want the best it can be. And if there's two options,
There's been a few times where you've actually done the opposite. Well, we've had something in. So, for example, we're producing a trick at the moment for Halloween by Jim Critchlow, and you did the same thing for that. I was like, well, we're going to need to do this, that, and the other. You're like, well, we might as well just go for the better one. We might as well just go on that. I know it's going to be more expensive. Let's do it. It needs to be a good product. And there's so many times since I've worked, and that's one thing I'll always say to anyone who wants to produce a trick. I've produced tricks now with Penguin, Alakazam, 1914. I did the Murphy's, all of these different companies, but I still think Alakazam puts in the most care into the trick. They won't settle for anything that isn't perfect, basically.
Yeah.
Like the packaging, the design, everything is just top quality. So yeah, if anyone ever wants to produce a trick, really think about Alakazam. And again, you know, I'm sure Simon won't mind me saying this, but that one of the biggest cases was Simon Lipkin, who was he had these amazing tricks, and his stuff really is phenomenal. Oh, sorry, that's my doorbell going.
Do you have to go get it?
Nah, it should be all right. But he was dubious about who to go to, and then when he saw the quality and stuff of everything that we were putting out, you know, he's come back time and time again, and we've got another 3 or 4 tricks coming out with Simon in the near future.
I can't wait for them.
If you ever want someone, do look at Alakazam seriously. I am going to go and get that from the door though, because he's left it outside. Why do they not open up porch doors nowadays and put it inside?
I know.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
Right. So, guys, while Jamie's gone, we are going to play another little video for you. And in all honesty, I can't remember what this video is, and the image is too small for me to work it out. So let me have a look. Let me see if I can see it. Oh, here we go. It is the legend Jamie Dawes. And I haven't seen this video yet, because I wasn't there when he filmed it. But this is Jamie filming or performing Luminol. So is it Luminol? Is that what it's called? Isn't that spray that the police use? Not sure. Anyway, here we go. Let's take a look.
I'm incredible at remembering things. For example, 25th of December, Christmas. The 12th of... Sorry, Harry, what was the date? What was your birthday? April, 12th of April. Apparently, I've got to put that in as Harry's birthday. So I'm going to show you how I can memorise things, right? So, Harry, I know that you've got the camera. Can you reach in and pop out a card for me? It's hard to do, but from behind the camera, isn't it? Everyone seen it?
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to go like this. You're going to say stop.
Stop. One last look. Yep, got it.
Pop it back in. You got it?
Yep.
Good. In fact, we're going to give this a shuffle. We're going to do one of the fairer shuffle. Everyone knows that this one's a fair because you can actually see it shuffling away. In fact, Harry, how many more of these would you like me to do?
Can you do 4, please?
4, right? So that's 1.
Yep.
We're going to go for 2. Now, if Harry had his hands free, he could actually do this himself. We're going to go for number 3, and I'll let you see that happening again in case you think I'm doing something dodgy. Then we're going to go 1 more for number 4. Are you happy with that, Harry?
Yep, more than happy.
Good. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to look through the cards and try and memorise as much information about them as I can. Don't forget your card. You're going to have to give me a couple of seconds here to get this.
They are genuinely mixed and they're all different.
They are.
You're cheating me. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Let's see it.
Right.
Okay. So you separating colours?
Yep.
Right.
Harry, I'm trying to concentrate here. All right. Jeez. So that should be black, black, right? Red.
Yep.
Red, black.
Yep.
Yeah, red.
Yep.
We've got black, black, black.
Yep.
Black.
Correct.
I think I'm going to go red, red, black. Black, red, red. And then red, black, red. So that was red, 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 black.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we had black, red, red. And then we had red, black, red. Right? Was that right so far?
Looks good to me.
And then we had red, red, red. We had another red. We had a black, black, another black. We had a red, a black, and then I think we had red, black.
Yeah.
Then we had a red, a black, black.
Oh, they're face
red.
down, but
Oh, sorry. These
are
ones.
Yeah.
Wait there. Let's double check how many.
Yeah, correct.
All correct.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a black, another black. We got a red, a black, a black.
How?
The last few. Obviously, there's been like time between them now. Red, 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 red. I'm going to show you the last one. Is that red?
It is indeed.
All right,
yeah.
good. Right.
How
So I'm
the
gonna
heck?
see how well I did, just in case I got anything wrong. Hopefully not.
Right,
let's start all of the blacks. So hopefully all of the blacks are here.
Yeah. They're
All good.
there.
But Harry, at the very beginning, you picked a card. What was the card that you picked?
10 of spades, and I can't see it in that pile.
The 10 of spades. Hopefully all of these are red, Harry. And if I've done this right, there should be
No
one black card.
way.
Hopefully, if we've done that right, your card, the 10 of spades, and that's why I've just got such a good memory.
How did you
What
do
was your
that?
birthday again? Sorry, I forgot.
Watch your mouth. How did you do that? Gee.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And that was that your first time of doing that?
Yeah. And I have a very bad memory. just to point that out. Yeah, it was. We spent a little while because I think we spoke about it on the review show. It's one that you're gonna have to practice.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I might have jumped in a bit too quick on the review show. Or was I right? I don't know, because I think it's, for me, I think the beauty of that is, but watching you do it, you did it very convincingly. I just felt I'd have to do it, or I wouldn't do it enough to get really good at it, if that makes sense.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, we know it's the same with anything. It's what method is best to achieve the same thing. And if you watch this week's review show, we did an unlimited special, and rather bizarrely, I do another memory demonstration in that one, but that's by Adam Dadswell, which is called Remembering 3. And all intents and purposes, I mean, they are different routines, but they're still based on the same idea.
The sort of premise,
and one
yeah.
is significantly easier than the other. As in, Adam Dadswell's version looks incredibly impressive, looks very real. It looks like you're doing what you say you're going to do, and it requires virtually no effort on the performer's side. Whereas
Right.
Lumino, whilst it's super clever and it's a great trick, and even little touches like the odd card out, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's just in the method, which is super clever, and it's a great method. But I just feel like sometimes there are easier routes to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
And although I loved it and I think it's a great trick, Lumino is so clever, I equally enjoy Remembering 3. And I think I know which way I would go personally.
Right. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I mean, sometimes, you know, if you're... We have this a lot where people will send us in a trick, and, you know, for the idea of possibly releasing it, and we'll look at it and go, well, there's nothing really we can release there. It'll be better off as a download, and it'll be better off like this. And sometimes, I'm not saying it for this in particular, but sometimes gimmicks are created to have a physical product to sell. You know, sometimes you don't need that sort of gimmick to do it. I'm not saying that with Lumino in mind, I'm just saying it generally. Sometimes you do get an effect where there is a gimmick that isn't really needed to do the effect. But it is, you know, when we put up the review show, there was so many comments underneath with people going, I've got it, do it, love it.
Absolutely,
else,
and that's
so
what I mean.
great.
It's down to the performer.
Yeah, and I've got to admit, I saw Thomas do it in Blackpool, and I bought one straight away.
Yeah.
Because it is very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, it is. But talking of products, not that we're going to tease anything, but we've still got about 7 tricks coming out this year.
Yeah.
Still. Before the end of the year.
Yeah, we have. I mean,
mad.
Since the middle of the first lockdown, we've been, I would say it started in lockdown where I could focus more on product development. And then we got to the stage whereas instead of doing 5 products a year, we were doing 1 product a month without fail. Then when lockdown finished, we were, I would say, 6 months ahead. You know, literally products packed, tutorials done, trailers done, sitting in the warehouse 6 months ahead. This year has just been so busy that we're no months ahead. I mean, we're literally, every product is there, but they're all in various stages of completion. So hopefully, and I know a lot of this has been, you know, I've had a lot of personal family stuff going on, good family stuff like my daughter's wedding and things like that. We've had buy-in Print by Magic, we've had organising the convention, so we've had a lot of things thrown onto our plate that we didn't usually deal with, which meant I was spending less time at home, more time in the shop, so things just get a little bit slower when I'm in the shop because I'm doing other stuff, but we're sort of at that stage now, we're starting to catch up again, where we are, like you said, we've got 6 or 7 things already planned for this year. We've got a new addition to the Elite Coin range by Craig Petty coming out in November or December. We've got a product by Mark Paul coming out. And
Which
I
I'm
will
very
tell
excited
you,
about.
I'm very excited about this because I first spoke to him about this about 5 years ago and he turned me down. So to finally get it, and yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's coming out in December. We have got a great sort of mentalism packet trick by Carl Purnell coming out. We've got a beautiful little trick. I don't know, did I show you it when you were down last week? By Nicholas Mavresis.
Possibly.
It is
I'm not
great.
sure.
It's based on your favourite Nicholas Mavresis release.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
And to be fair, I got a set printed off for myself on our Print by Magic printer, and I was performing it. We had open day at the shop on Saturday, and I was performing it to everyone that come in, because I gauge people's reactions, I hone like my presentation of it, and I get my patter right by performing it all the time. And I would say 4 of the 8 people I showed it to on Saturday have got the predecessor, still couldn't work out how it was done.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, really, really good. So that, I'm hoping, might be out at the end of October.
Okay. We've got loads to go then. We've got a lovely match trick, which was on Paul Daniels' Magic Show, which is where we first saw it. We got a phenomenal electronic effect by Leo Smetzer's coming out, and when you see the trailer for that, you will not believe it because it's absolutely incredible. And the audience reaction, it's another one that we filmed last year, was just phenomenal for it. But we have very limited stock of them. They're never going to be made again.
No, I think we've only got a dozen or less. Yeah. So, but that's not going to be a live launch. That will go out in an email. If you're not subscribed to our email list, make sure you subscribe. So, yes,
I can get something else as well. Have you got a video to play?
I have, and this video is about your next academy. So, let me play that. You go off and get what you're getting.
Cool, go for it.
For centuries, the number 8 has been a symbol of hope. In the East, it promises prosperity. In philosophy, it means balance. In faith, it means rebirth, the dawn beyond death. But infinity has no end, and rebirth demands death. At the edge of town stands a house with a hallway of 8 doors, each one hiding a forbidden truth. Some who entered, returned, forever changed. Most were never seen again. For 8 years, I have led you
to its threshold, and this year, the doors finally open.
So that's
just needs a sinister laugh at the end, doesn't it? It needs a little echoey, sinister laugh.
So we missed TTT last year because you were doing live shows.
Yep. This year we're not doing the live show, so we're going to do taboos instead this year. I was at a lecture last night at the Black Card Club. Shout out to everyone, amazing bunch of people, really lovely. And my lecture's all on bizarre stuff, but I actually showed a couple of early launches of some of the taboo stuff, including an app that people will get, a fully functioning app that you'll get free with it. And I showed them the candle extinguisher. So a way to make a candle extinguish itself, even though it's a normal candle. And they loved it. So yeah, I'm very excited to bring it back. But I run upstairs to show you this because you've not seen them yet. And this is another release that we've got coming out for October in conjunction with Strange Stage.
Ooh, yeah.
But you asked me to take yours home to age it. So we now have a lovely aged old.
Nice. Have you learnt it yet?
I have learnt it. I need to make. There's one other thing that's built in that I need to make, which I'll do tonight before I bring these up tomorrow. But it's brilliant. Chris is going to run through the full routine because there are different avenues that the book can take you down. But I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to say anything more than that.
So,
but it's very clever.
Have we got a launch happening in October for this?
We do have a launch for this. So the launch for this is going to be I think it's the 23rd. Let me just double check. Yes, 23rd of October is going to be our launch for that. But we've also got a launch of our Halloween trick this year by Jim Critchlow. So we may do that on the same night.
Yeah, we'll
because everything's going to
them.
be pushed together. So it should be a nice spooky evening. But it's great. The attention to detail that Chris has put into these is phenomenal. I would hate to think how much time he spent producing them. They're absolutely incredible. When you get them, they will look lovely and new. These are just the aged ones that I aged over the weekend. It's not that hard to age either, but they look so good. The methods are clever. There's hidden stuff in there as well, which I can't say, which I'll show you tomorrow, but people have to tune in on the live to work out what that is, because it's very, very good. It's great. It's really, really good.
Brilliant. So we're sort of coming to the end, Jamie Dawes, but I've got one more video to play, which I'm going to play now, because this is another academy that's happening in a couple of weeks.
Oh my!
Yeah, let's play it.
Hello, I'm magician Jackie Yu. Oh my! I'm so excited to share my magic at the Alakazam Academy on Wednesday, October 22nd. This time, I'll be presenting a variety of new ideas along with some tips on creating magic for social media. I'll be sharing my matrix routine using push pins on a foam board, my original color changing search effect, J-search, a variation of the chap up called chap egg, a Monty routine made with coasters called coaster Monty, and also highly visual effect designed for social media, and much more. I can't wait. See you guys soon. Come on!
So looking forward to that.
I cannot wait. I think it's going to be great. The tricks that he talks about doing on there just sound like something completely different. I think it sounds great.
Just having him here in the shop and in the studio will be phenomenal. I'm a big fan. Very, very creative. Very creative.
And when is that? That's a few weeks now, isn't it? It's not that far. 1, 2, so it's 3 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. And TTT 8 is 4 weeks today.
Wow. No, I'm so looking forward to it. And for any members of Unlimited, we are going to be adding some new bits in 2026. So there's some exciting, I mean, I say we're adding new bits, there's new bits added every week, but I mean, we're adding some new stuff, like.
Yes, so we've got 2 things immediate, 2 to 3 things. So one thing is pretty much ready to go. One, we're just looking at how to make it work. And then the other one is going to be something that we're going to launch, which will happen maybe once a month from next year, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah, can't wait. Really can't wait.
And members, we have Spooky Week as well. So you have a whole week of spooky tricks leading up to Halloween. So look out for them. We did it last year. People really enjoyed it. So we've got the same going on this year. We've got some great tricks as well. From the likes of, I think we've got Jorge Garcia, Mark Spellman. We've got Andy Nyman, I think, on there as well. So it's going to be a really, really fun week.
Brilliant. Absolutely can't wait. Can't wait. I love Unlimited. Right, so that, Jamie Dawes, brings us to the end. But I think before we go, we're going to play, for anyone that joined us a little bit late today, we're going to play this video, then we'll come back and say our goodbyes.
Okie doke.
Hi guys, it's Mark Paul here, and I want to tell you about Idiom. It is this. A box of Scrabble tiles, so you have that wonderful shaking sound. And that's what you do, you shake it up, the spectator shakes it up, they open the lid, they pick out some letters, and you know exactly what word those letters will make. And get this, they can see that the letters are all different. They can see into the box and see lots of random letters. It's really clever, it's beautifully put together, the props are incredibly well made. This is probably the cleanest way of forcing a word that I've ever seen. So you need this. This is Idiom by Mike Shaw.
For the first time, Jan, the letter that you are holding is an F. Leonie. I. Tara. R. Lee. So you spelt the word. Yeah, you spelt the word fur. Come on! Yes! Yes!
Oh, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate that.
I'm Peter Nardi, and this is Mike Shaw's Idiom. So, what is going on there?
It's my cat has decided to come and join me.
See, if that was Willow, she would just be stamping on the keyboard. You'll have all sorts of stuff coming up on the screen. Right, so guys, this is being released tomorrow, Idiom by Mike Shaw. Join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, right here on Facebook and YouTube. You'll get to see the full trailer, you'll get a better understanding of what it is, and we are here to answer your questions. Yeah, we can't wait for this. This has been a long time coming. We're really proud of what it is, and we're really excited to share it with you. So this is Idiom. Join us tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock not GMT, BST, so GMT +1 on Facebook and YouTube. And anyone that places an order, our Halloween newsletter is now in.
Oh, that looks cool.
It's great, isn't it?
That looks very good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Looks great.
Yeah, so anyone that wants to know, I'm going to say this before we go, our best sellers for last month, our top 10, I'll read them out. Number 1 was Cube Mix by Risky Nanda. Number 2 was Trilogy Extreme, a classic that came back and sold very well. Number 3 was Flicks. Number 4 was the Amazing Magic Miracle deck, which is a Svengali deck for anyone that don't know. Number 5 was Instant Paper to Money. Number 6 was Rich Relish's Agility, back into the top 10. Number 7 was Random Card Generator. Number 8 was Dice Prediction. Number 9 was Imagine. And number 10 was Liquid Forks.
Nice. Good mix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always interesting when I do the top 10 list, because obviously this is a genuine top 10. And it's interesting to see, you know, what effect doing something on social media has on the sales and everything else. I mean, Liquid Forks are just a regular. Bless me.
you.
Thank you. Liquid Forks is just a regular, so that's always popping in and out. But, you know, if you have a look down the list, things like Agility, Trilogy, Imagine, as products, they're years old. And then we'll do them on social and they'll just have a hit. Dice Prediction, anyone that was interested in Dice Prediction, they are now sold out, and I believe they are now discontinued. So if you own one, they will very soon be a collector's item. Beautiful piece of magic. I love mine. It really is. I love mine.
Yep. And we got, I think, from what I hear, we've got lots of good things coming up. I know Murphy's have got their Spirit Bell coming out, which looks great.
Yeah, I think that's launching tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it looks great, and they've got some nice accessories as well. So you don't just have the bell; you can then buy a voodoo doll, which will then start moving, and a pendulum as well, which you can buy as add-ons as well.
Wow!
And it looks really, really well produced and really well made. And I should think if you add a little bit of aging to it, I think it will be a great thing. And I think there's more Tenyo stuff coming out very shortly as well, I hear, which would be really, really cool as well.
And do you know what?
So,
for the first time in probably, for the first time since I launched Alakazam Magic, I have got 2 products coming out with 2 different companies that are not Alakazam.
Ooh. Interesting. How intriguing. And is there a particular reason for that?
Yes, there is, Jamie. Thank you very much for asking. Because on those two specific products, and they're two different companies as well. So I went to both companies because I know both companies have got the manufacturing in place to do what those products need doing. And I know they could do them better than we could do them, but I don't, because we would always make sure they're done well. But I know that if I was to do them, I would have to research what needs to be done for a good year or two.
They have the knowledge.
They have the knowledge already there, and I know they're going to do a fantastic job with them. And one of the products in particular is probably one of the first products I ever created. Never got released. I had, I think it was 3 prototypes made. So we're going back 30 years. I had 3 prototypes made. They've been sitting in Andy's desk drawer for 20 years or 18 years, whatever it is that he's been with us. And it was only recently I thought, do you know what? They could make this. And at the time, the reason why I never released it at the time was they would have cost me at the time, I think it was £50 each to produce. And when you're dealing magic, there's something called a perceived value of a product. So let me explain this with regards to years ago, we released a trick called IDEC by Noel Quarter. Now, when I first bought the rights to IDEC, I looked at getting this thing made. But the technology that was involved in IDEC at the time when we bought it was at a price that meant the trick would have had to sell for £100 and above. But when I looked at the trick, I knew the perceived value of that trick was not £100 and above. So we sat on that trick for 2 or 3 years till the price of that technology come down where we could go, okay, now we can produce that so it can sell at a perceived valued price, if you know what I mean. And it was the same with this trick. The actual cost for me to manufacture at the time would have been £50 a unit. But that's the price I envisaged it retailing for, was around 50, 60, 70 pounds. I don't know what it's going to retail for now. Times have changed, prices have gone up, but I know the production, especially with this company, will be a bit cheaper than that. But I will say I was really pleased because I took the prototype with me to Las Vegas. I had a meeting with the company beforehand. I said, look, I've got this idea. It's been sitting in my desk for 30 years. Would you like to see it? They said, yeah, we would love to see it. I took it to Las Vegas. I showed them it and I fooled them badly with it. Even when I explained how it was done, it still fooled them. So I'm really excited for that to come out because I've only ever performed it, 20 times, 30 times, and every time I do it, people are just, their jaws hit the floor. So yeah, I think that's going to be out. I think both of these products will be out next year.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I'm really, really happy to see them come out. And I know I've made the right decision by going there because the other thing is, and you'll know this a lot is I always put my stuff to the bottom of the pile when it comes to producing stuff. So having someone else do it means I can concentrate on other people's releases, which is what I prefer doing rather than my own. So anyway, that's it. That's a little bit of news for you. Obviously, we will still do a live launch on both products. But yeah, I will keep you updated. But that being said, tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, we will see you here for Idiom. I want to thank Jamie for joining me today because I know you are a busy bee editing.
Yep, I'm just gonna polish off this week's podcast, get it added to Unlimited for those early subscribers, and then I'm moving on to a project by John Carey, which we finished filming a few weeks ago. So that'll be the next one. And then after that, I've got one by Phil Tilston, which is another project that we're working on. So yeah, backed up on products, and then I'm down tomorrow, and we're going to film 2 trailers tomorrow. One for our Halloween trick, one for a trick coming out at the end of the year. So it's going to be a busy week, I think, all round.
Brilliant. Can you remember, Jamie, tomorrow to bring your barber's bag?
Yep, okay.
Thank you very much.
0 all over. Are we just going all out this time?
For those of you that don't know, Jamie's also my barber. Because Jamie is a
Harry's
trained
as well.
Yeah, Jamie is a trained barber. Not that mine takes long, but you know, he does a good job.
2 or 3 hairs, sorted.
Yeah, you've got to be careful which one you cut. apart from that, we're all right. Right, so
it's
guys...
Like Professor's Nightmare, but with hair. I've just got to make them all...
The long one, the middle one, or the short one. Which one do you want gone? Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to leave you with a launch video again, but we will say our goodbyes.
Goodbye.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Hi guys, it's Mark Paul here, and I want to tell you about Idiom. It is this. A box of Scrabble tiles, so you have that wonderful shaking sound. And that's what you do, you shake it up, the spectator shakes it up, they open the lid, they pick out some letters, and you know exactly what word those letters will make. And get this, they can see that the letters are all different. They can see into the box and see lots of random letters. It's really clever, it's beautifully put together, the props are incredibly well made. This is probably the cleanest way of forcing a word that I've ever seen. So you need this. This is Idiom by Mike Shaw.
For the first time, Jan, the letter that you were holding is an F, Leonie, I, Tara, R, Lee. So you spelt the word? Yeah, you spelt the word Come on! Yes! Yes!
Oh, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate that.
I'm Peter Nardi, and this is Mike Shaw's Idiom.